every time Big Boss has happened, or whenever Big Boss का season announced हुआ है, आपका नाम definitely जिक्र में होता है in the rumor list, and I always check with you, Karan, are you going in? Are you going in? And you often say, no, I'm not going in. This time, your response was very different, and that's when I had an idea that you actually might be going in this time. So,
yeah.
What has prompted this turn of tables? I think first of all.
Oh my God. I guess, things have to happen when they have to happen. You can't sort of fight what's written in your destiny, I guess. We used to have meetings and something or the other used to come up and I used to not be able to, do the show for whatever reasons. And, maybe I wasn't ready to do the show. This time, everything fell in place, I guess. I had certain, issues with myself. Thinking that I might not be cut for the show, or maybe it's not the best thing for me considering where I am in my career. So when I started meeting the makers, meeting, and sort of things started blending in, and eventually I said yes for the show. I guess it's going to be a good journey.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Now, have you been following the recent seasons of Big Boss? I mean, is there anyone who has particularly stood out to you? I think as a housemate or as a person.
I haven't really followed any of the seasons properly, but whatever, because of course, unfortunately, we never have the time or the energy once the kind of travel and the routines that we have. But yeah, see, Prince, who won the show, is a friend of mine. Vikas is a friend of mine. But somebody who stood out pretty clearly was Siddharth, and he had a fantastic journey. A very something that somebody like me would stand up and say, I salute this guy, because he's been super real and he's had no inhibitions. He's not worried about so many things that people worry when they get into Big Boss, and he's just played it extremely well.
Yeah, oh man, I missed Siddharth as well actually, and it still hasn't sunk in, to be honest. But yeah, no, he was a fab contestant. I think a great human being as well. More importantly. So has there been any word of advice I think given to you by many? I'm sure we have a lot of like mutual people that we know. I mean, like you said, Vikas is one of them as well. So has he given you any advice, or anyone in other?
I of course I have, and it's not just now, because once they came out of Big Boss, we've had discussions. How's it like inside? But I guess, Anuj, what happens is you never can imagine these things. You cannot, from a viewer's point of view, understand what it is like being inside. You can, imagine yourself reacting in a certain way, but until unless you are put into that house with all that pressure, with all these people cut off from the outside world, and it's a jungle theme this time, so I don't know what all torture we're going to be facing. We're going to be facing. Until unless you're there, you really don't know how to react. It's like jumping out of an aircraft for the first time. You probably imagine it so much, but then when you actually jump out, that's when you come to know what it is really. So there's got to be you can't plan stuff. You can prepare, but you might not be able to plan a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, when it comes to reality shows, you've had a great experience in, whether it's participating or hosting them. I think mostly hosting them actually. So how emotionally and mentally, how mentally prepared are you this time, and emotionally prepared? Because like you mentioned, there's been times when, you've not been ready for it. So what has been the preparation for you in that sense this time around?
As I said, my logic says that I can prepare myself for the idea of not having contact with the outside world, my family, my loved one, my friends. But how I'm going to react inside, I've seen people lose their shit. I've done shows like Roadies and I've hosted Love School, but this is the first time I'm going to be on the other end of the spectrum, where I'm going to be a participant. I might overanalyze things. I might, put my host shoes on and think, okay, so if they've said this, what does it mean? If I was the host, I would have said this to somebody who does this. It might go against me. It might, work for me. You never know, because you always have to look at both the sides. So I guess mentally, I know it's going to be tough. It's going to be extremely challenging because it is an extremely challenging show. Your life is, your entire public image is at stake here. Everything is out in the open. No matter how outspoken you are, no matter how openly you've dealt with your life, it doesn't get as much exposure as this.
Mm.
You know, so
Absolutely.
yeah, it is. If you think about it, it's extremely scary.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned that as well, because I mean, like I said, you were recently seen in Dolly Kitty and in Ye Rishta as well. I think as soon as I saw you, I think I literally dropped you a WhatsApp. I was like, oh my God, it's so good to see you in this. I didn't know you were in it. So it was quite nice to kind of see you in both those projects there. But I think, how tough has it been, I think, for you as an individual, to kind of reach this stage? And I guess that threat of losing popularity and becoming, gaining notoriety, I think that must be a worry at the back of your mind as well, right? Like you must be really worried about, make sure that you perform well and it doesn't go the other side at all.
Not really. Not really. If you followed me, I've never been irrational when it comes to how I deal with things, be it a breakup, be it standing up for somebody, be it anything. I've always had my the way I think, the way that what is right for me, and I stand by it. So if I was not confident about myself as a person, I wouldn't have done this show. And at the end of the day, Anuj, not everybody's going to like you and not everybody's going to hate you. You have to live for the people who like you and who give you their love. Yes, as far as I know myself, I don't think I'm somebody who would purposely do anything to take away anything from somebody, or dupe somebody of something, or take somebody else's chance or opportunity. I'm not like that, and God's been kind with the way I have been, so I'm not scared about that. But yeah, I do understand that I might get a lot of hate as well because I am extremely opinionated. But yeah, if you are doing this show, you got to be prepared for that.
No, definitely. Very well said there. And I think also the fact that you do recognize yourself, yourself from within, I think that's the biggest, strength, for any person. So I guess that would obviously be the biggest strength of you, right? Is the fact that you are very aware of yourself as a human being now, right?
I am in normal circumstances. I am pretty well aware of who I am. I know I have my faults, but Bigg Boss is not normal circumstances.
It's anything but normal, man.
Yeah, there's nothing normal about that, about Bigg Boss. So you never know, man, how I'm gonna react to certain things. As I said, I might know myself really well, and a week into the program, and I'll be like, shit, I didn't know this about myself, and I'm actually very excited about that.
Right. So what sort of individuals do you think you'd get on well with in the house, and what sort of individuals do you think you'd probably have a clash with?
I'm a very pretty chilled out person, and I like people who have the same kind of vibe. I don't like opportunistic people, and I don't like people who don't think of others. I don't like people who try to use their power onto others and belittle other people. I like people who are nice. So I think I have a certain vibe, and I'll get along with people who are like that, and I probably won't get along with people who do such silly things.
Okay, that's great. And I think often on shows like Bigg Boss, as we've seen in previous seasons, personal revelations can happen, and often exposures are happen as well. They can happen quite easily. Yeah. So how do you think you'd react in such situations? I know you are a laid back guy. I've got to know you over these last couple of years, and I know that you are very confident and you are very heads on. You don't care about anything. You'll just deal with the situation there and then. But how do you think you'd react in that situation where personal things start coming out on the show?
Everything has been out in the open, as it is. I've not kept a extremely entirely private sort of a life. My relationships have been out in the open. My My work has been out in the open. My fights have been out in the open. Everything that I do, I don't shy away from. I chose this line. It's not their fault that they want to know everything. So I don't think there's anything that I'm worried about. Yes, there could be people who would use certain things for their benefit on the show, and I have the right to answer them as well.
Mhm, mhm. And is there anything that you fear at all about the show in terms of, I mean, I spoke about before about the whole notoriety part, but is there anything else that you're a bit apprehensive about that you wish to make sure doesn't happen, or maybe
I think
try and work on
I've
that?
passed that stage. It's too late to think of any of these apprehensions anymore. Too late. See, again, as I said, I'm first of all, one thing at a time. I am going to be focusing on how I react. Because that is important. You're stuck in a house with people, and I've never been in a situation like that. I am going to be learning a lot about myself, and then I'm going to start dealing with other people. So it's going to be a two-way thing where I am judging myself. I am learning. I'm evolving. I will make mistakes, I'm sure, but so it's I have to see how much metal I am made of, and at the same time, I'm going to be figuring out ways to deal with other people.
Mm-hmm. Great to hear that as well. And I think on a final note, Karan, I mean, throughout your career, you've explored yourself as an actor. I mean, be it as Arjun in Kitani Mohabbat, which has a very special place in my heart, and you know that. Obviously the characters, the various other characters as well that you've done on TV. I mean, where it's horror films as well, like 1921, or laugh out loud comedies with Mubaraka, which was also the first time that we first met as well. So it's been quite interesting to see you sort of explore yourself. But what do you think will transpire from your career post Bigg Boss, be it professionally, personally, emotionally, and mentally?
I think so all the friends who've been on Bigg Boss, everybody has come and said that they're not the same person anymore. And everybody has recommended me to do this show. Not one of my friends who's been on the show or who knows the show has said, Karan, you should not do this show. I'm actually in a stage where I'm extremely, reactive to change in my life. At a stage where I'm probably growing from who I was to who I am. 2020 has not been very kind to everybody. I am evolving and I'm understanding myself. So I think this would add to that, right? I will have a better understanding about myself. I've explored a lot. I've traveled a lot of countries, but I've never explored inside, which I'm looking forward to because I don't have an option. I have to. Career-wise, I don't know what's going to happen. It's not like I'm...
It's within your control.
Yeah, of course, I have apprehensions, but it's your journey, man. It's you can't follow somebody's journey, or you can't have rules given to you that you should not do this and this will happen, or if you do this, then you should do this. No, I've always had my own way of dealing with my career. So I'm more excited about the retrospection that's going to happen. जो हम अपने आप को समझते हैं कि हम इतने strong हैं, हम ये हैं, हम वो हैं, समझदार हैं, वो आपकी असलियत क्या है? I believe that I'm going to grow as a person for the good, or hopefully for the good.
Yeah, and I think you're probably going to hear the word Vyaktitva so many times on the show.
Sorry, what word?
The word Vyaktitva. Like, I think you're probably going to hear that word so many times, which means like, your personality. And I think that's exactly what we're going to be. And I think that's actually what's going to be, sorry. And I think it's going to be wonderful because I think for me, it's very special, Karan, because you've been a friend for many years now. And it's the first time I actually know someone who's going into the house. So it feels a lot personal than ever, Bigg Boss this time round. So I'm definitely doting upon you as well, Karan. So just whatever you do, bas ji jaan laga ke khelna, and just make me proud and make us all proud.
I will. I promise you. Just keep praying for me and keep your fingers crossed, man.
Oh, absolutely, Karan. You're gonna smash it, buddy. I know you're gonna smash it.
I hope so.
Yeah, keep positive and just keep strong, and you're gonna be fine. Trust me, you're gonna be fine. That's fab. Look, Karan, wishing you all the very best, and thank you so much for catching up with me, man. And can't wait to watch you every day on Colors.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Karan.